Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, May 29th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, we are looking at ticker symbol SPRO. Very, very big mover today, and certainly got to think a lot of people are watching this one headed into Thursday. And we now have ourselves a good, solid pattern. So as I draw this pattern, please don't think that I'm trying to impress you or, imply that this is some sort of great discovery or special talent. The exact opposite. I think a lot of people have drawn this pattern or something very similar. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same pattern and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So there we have the top part of the pattern. Down here we have more so the bottom part of it. Let me change that to green to represent support. Let's do this. There we go. And then just to make sure that everybody can see the pattern, let's keep it all one color. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the big upward move right here. And for you golfers out there, try to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because it's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed that the price is going to break upwards. But would it be shocking if the price consolidated out and then found some more momentum after breaking that level? That would not be shocking. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but certainly more than a valid question to throw out there as a possible scenario. So if you like this price range down below $5, you like bull pennant patterns, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, ASBP, and I'm going to go through this one very quickly because you literally just heard me talk about this pattern, but we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So there is our area of resistance. Make this a little bit more proportional. There we go. There is our area of support. Okay, let me change that to green. And just because I can't help myself, let's keep it all one color to make sure everybody sees it. So we have our resistance. We have our support. We have the big upward move right here. We have the golf hole down here. And there we go. Another bull pennant pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here is this one happens to be on a penny stock. So if you like bull pennants, but you prefer to stay more so in the world of penny stocks, here you go. Next one here, NVTS, and this one got much less volatile today, which I don't say that in a bad way, but I understand how people can kind of almost default to, oh, this was a terrible day, just because something like this doesn't happen. So you go back a couple of days, very impressive move. Here it went pretty quiet, and then, of course, boom right there. So if things aren't going necessarily boom, things are, okay, what's wrong? But nothing's wrong. Everything, assuming, now, let me take a step back. If you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there, even if you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 5 minutes, from that standpoint, yes, sure, the chart's looking pretty rough. But assuming you do care about the bigger picture point of view, everything is still perfectly fine, even with the pullback that happened today. Because, if you look at just where the consolidation is currently occurring, then you look at where the previous consolidation was, and then back behind my ugly mug, there's even more consolidation down there. And if you notice, each consolidation level is higher than the previous one. So that consolidation, higher than that level. This consolidation level, higher than that one. So from an overarching standpoint, the overall trend is still very much so in the upwards direction. Again, I do fully understand that if you're a day trader and you bought right there, you really don't care about these broader picture. But that's what I'm trying to distinguish between more so a day trader and somebody that cares about the bigger picture point of view. So as far as areas of resistance are concerned, I think the key level that probably a lot of people are now watching is just putting that trend line into play right there. So keep a close eye on that. But again, from the overarching standpoint, the price is doing a fantastic job of building those overall higher bases of consolidation. Next one here, PLUG. Very, very impressive day today. Last 30 minutes, which is this candle right here as I speak. Not the greatest looking candle, but that is only one candle because the fact of the matter is from where the price started off the day down around here to where it is right now, even with that final candle, still a very, very impressive day. So we'll map out some key areas of support and resistance. First area of support is what I would call the ideal level. Meaning, if you say, Clay, what makes this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And that would be if the price can stay up there above 86.5 cents. Now, if the price falls below there, that doesn't mean the entire chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But yeah, if the price could stay above there, that'd be a great sign of power. Taking a step back, though, and looking at things from the bigger picture point of view, that is where the purple line there comes into play, the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword definitely being moving because I understand the price is way up here. This line's way down here. But as time goes by, that line's going to move itself higher and higher. So from an overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above that line, as the line itself moves higher and higher, then overall the trend is still plenty in the bulls' favor. Again, preferably speaking, staying above that green line there would be best. But again, overarching wise, just stay above that purple line. In terms of areas of resistance, main battleground to watch moving forward, going to be right there around 93.5 cents. Sure, the price did temporarily spike above it right there, but you can see some congestion right there and then some congestion right around that level. So I'm not going to say it exact, but yeah, right here around 93.5 cents seems to be that key battleground point here headed into Thursday. Next one here is NVIDIA, NVDA, and yes, I know about earnings, and yes, the last 30 minutes here not looking so good, but with earnings, I'm just going to talk about more so some broad levels. So let's go to the hourly time frame, meaning each one of these now represents an entire hour, so we can look at more so a broader standpoint. But from the overarching standpoint, the key area of resistance heading into earnings here, right up there at 137.50. You can see it's been a long time since the price has been up above that area. So in any way, shape, or form, if earnings pushes it up through that 137.50 mark, that is a good solid technical sign, because again, that would be putting the price up at highs that have not been seen over definitely the past, several weeks and few months. So 137.50, definitely that key area of resistance. And then on the flip side of things, in terms of areas of support, the main level after earnings to keep a close eye on, going to be down here right around the 129 mark. And that's important because if the price were to fall down below here, then again, does that destroy the chart? It doesn't destroy the chart, but it is all of a sudden a bearish breakdown of this big old sideways channel here. And any sort of break of 129, again, I don't think anybody would be shocked if that would then send the price down to at least retest that pink line right there. The 200 period moving average right now valued at 118.85. But yes, going into earnings, the price is stuck between this channel. So it'll be interesting to see if these earnings can push the price up through either direction. So grab your popcorn and we'll see what sort of fireworks are in store. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering very soon. So if you want to learn more about the tools I'm using to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down below in the description area you can use. Or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, looking at ticker symbol LVWR, and we are back to talking bull pennants. So let's just get this into play. So we have our area of resistance right up here. And then on the support side of things, you can see we have this nice upwards trend line throughout the latter part of the day. Let's get that changed to green. And then just because I cannot help myself, like I said, let's get it all one color. So there's our resistance. There's our support. There's a nice upward move right there. There's the golf hole down here. So another bull pennant pattern for those of you that like the stocks down in the range of the $5 mark. So if you're somebody that enjoys bull pennants, you definitely have quite to choose from here headed into Thursday. Next one here, SGBX. Pretty eventful day, and I like these setups because at some point you got to think the price was up there, and then the price dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. And down around here, it starts to become a very valid question of, was this just some sort of gap and trap pump and dump? Is it game over? And seemingly we got the answer, and no, it wasn't, because not only did the price level out, the price has started to work its way back in the upwards direction. Now, let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because there is a big pullback and just because the price is slightly moving upwards does not mean for sure guaranteed the bottom is in and for sure guaranteed this thing's going to continue to blast upwards. My point here is it's at least valid. It's at least a plausible scenario to throw out there. Case in point, let's just say that the price was still doing something like this, just dropping. And then I'm saying, hey, it's looking like this could be the bottom. You'd be totally justified to say, wait, what are you talking about? Based on what? The price is literally still going down. Well, that's not the case here. It has at least leveled out and started to go back upwards. Again, doesn't guarantee that it's going to revisit those highs, but in my opinion, it becomes a little bit more of a plausible scenario, which is where this area of resistance comes into play. I think $1.26 there going to be very, very important. You can see rejected the price there and rejected the price there. So yes, dramatic day with a big pullback, but it's leveled off. It's creeping back upwards. So yeah, is there another bigger movement to come? We'll see what happens. Next one here, JOBY. Overall, very, very solid day. Although right now, let me get this drawn into play here. So we have this area of resistance. We have this area of support. And this is what I would call a rising wedge pattern. A rising wedge pattern is bearish, which suggests, now, as I mentioned earlier, just because something's bullish does not mean for sure guarantee the price is going to go up. The same is true for the opposite. Just because something's bearish does not mean the price is going to go down. But even when I say down, the rising wedge pattern here does not mean that there's some sort of epic crash. It's just saying, it might need to, potentially pull back a little bit more. So even if it did pull back, let's just say right here, before leveling out, think about what you'd still have from the bigger picture. You'd still have a set of lows here, you'd have lows here, you'd have lows down here. You envision those as stair steps. and you'd still very clearly have stair steps progressing in the upward direction. So before you go and start hating me in the comment section, oh, this guy said it's going to crash, this guy said it's going to... No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there is a rising wedge pattern, and a rising wedge does suggest that there may need to be a bit more of a pullback here, which isn't a very gutsy call given that this was an epic move today. So I don't think it's that crazy to think that potentially some profit takers may start to show up. But again, just because something's a bearish pattern doesn't mean it'll for sure go down. But headed into Thursday, I would definitely classify this as a rising wedge pattern. Next one here, DNN. Overall, the nice upwards move continues, and we now have a multi-day, yeah, you guessed it, bull pennant pattern. So let's just get this drawn into play. All the other ones were more so single day patterns. So yes, this is still a bull pennant. But like I said, I'd say the biggest difference here is that this is actually a multi-day bull pennant. So let's change that to green. And then just so we can make sure everybody sees it. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the big move up right here. And then we have the golf hole down here. So like I said, we are now no longer looking at a single day or anything, multiple days, but overall still a bull pennant pattern. So if you're somebody that likes to play this price range, but you prefer more so not necessarily the little micro patterns that occur within sometimes just a half of a day, but you like more so overall multi-day patterns and you like the bull pennant, well, here you go, DNN, looking very, very impressive. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and this is where things are a little tricky, all about perspective. If you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right here, or you bought right there trying to play a breakout, and you're looking to buy and sell within 7 minutes, then yes, from that standpoint, chart's looking pretty rough. But assuming you do care about the bigger picture, even with the pullback today, the overall chart is still plenty fine. And I say that because, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched yesterday's video, but it's still nicely above 350-250. And the reason why that level is so important is because up until yesterday, the price has been stuck in this big old sideways channel pattern. And that's what that's, measuring force is whether or not the price is falling back inside of the pattern or if it can at least stay outside of it. Now, even if the price were to fall back inside of the pattern, that still doesn't imply that the overall chart is destroyed, but it's certainly preferable from a bullish standpoint and from a kind of what's going to make the chart look the best and the healthiest for the price to stay outside of this channel. But as of right now, even with the bigger pullback, the price still got to drop down quite a bit before the price even does battle with that 350-250 mark. So yes, again, I understand a little day trader scalper that bought right there. You don't like to see this at all. The chart looks terrible. But if you care about the big picture, the chart's hanging in there and doing just fine. So 352 is going to be a key area of support for those reasons. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, this level here that I talked about previously at that red line, you can see it did quite a bit today of acting as resistance, including this afternoon. That's essentially right where it got rejected right there. So keep an eye on 360, 380 headed into tomorrow. So again, yes, depending on where you bought and what your strategy was, maybe today in this chart looks like a train wreck for you. But assuming you do care about the grand scheme of it all, still plenty of opportunity to build a higher base and continue on with the overall trend. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Like I said, it'll be very soon, Thursday, May 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, make sure you hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I have been live streaming. So if you're interested in joining the live stream, watching me trade live, asking me questions, or just hanging out, make sure you, like I said, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you can be aware of when I do indeed go live on the channel. So if that sounds like of any interest, then definitely, like I said, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So thanks for watching. And like I said, make sure you go get signed up for that free class.